Good morning. Welcome to practice. So go ahead and come into a comfortable seated position as we often start. So you might sit cross legged, you might sit in another way, but make yourself comfy in a seat. And then allow your eyes to close as you start to check in with your body. So it's always important to check in with how you're feeling before you practice so that you can take note of anything that you want to maybe pay special attention to, if there's an injury you're working with, perhaps, or your general energy level. Sometimes you step on the mat and you're tired, other times you have lots of energy. So check in and notice how you're feeling before we start to move. And then just begin to breathe a little bit more deeply and with a little bit more intention so that as you're inhaling, you start to really sense the movement of your chest, your ribs, your belly. And then as you exhale, you land into awareness of where you are and how you feel. So there's a sense of shoulders relaxing and dropping. And just take a few rounds of breath in this way, really feeling the expansion of your inhale. And then landing into where you are as you exhale. And one more full breath. All right, begin to gently turn your head side to side. All right, and then reach the chin up and drop it down toward your chest. Again, lifting up and dropping down. And then one more time, lifting and dropping. All right, bring your head up to center. Bring the palms together in front of the heart. Interlace the fingers. Press the palms forward and up. Start to reach up through one hand and up through the other side. Left and right a few times. All right, release the hands to the floor. Walk the right hand out a little bit and lean into it. Take your left hand to your left shoulder and start to rotate a couple times in one direction and a couple times the opposite way. All right, sweep the left arm up alongside your head. Reach in with that hand, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist. All right, and then inhale, lift up. And exhale, take this left hand towards the floor behind you, right hand over towards the left knee, and then inhale, grow tall. So lifting up through the top of the head, and then exhale as you twist over toward the left. Turn your head to look back, and then turn your head to look over toward the right. And just let the head turn a few times side to side. All right, and then unravel back to center, untwist. And then this time walk the left hand out, leaning into it. Right hand comes to right shoulder and start to rotate. Let the circle be nice and big. All right, change directions. All right, then sweep the right arm up alongside your head. Reaching with that hand, squeeze and release the fingers, as well as rotate through the wrist a couple times each way. All right, with your in-breath, lift up. And with your out-breath, release that right hand toward the floor behind you. Take the left hand across to your right knee. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale and twist toward your right side. Turn the head to look back. And then turn the head to look over toward the left. And just allow the head to turn side to side a few times. All right, and then unravel back to center, letting the twist release. And then we'll do a little seated cat and cow. So hands resting roughly on your thighs. Take an inhale as your chest and your belly go forward, your head and your tail go back. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your back, bring your chin toward your chest. Inhale, chest and belly forward, head and tail go back. Exhale, tuck and round. We'll do 3 more. All right, 2 more. And last one. All right, as you bring your torso back upright, we're going to come on to hands and knees. All right, as you come to hands and knees, we'll step the left foot out to the side and then walk the hands in, lifting up. Take the left hand to rest on the left leg and then sweep your right arm up alongside your head. All right, one more cycle of breath. And then inhale and lift up. As you exhale, we'll take the arms behind the back, interlace the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, reach the knuckles away from the center of the chest. If it's not possible or comfortable to straighten the arms, just keep the elbows bent. That's fine to do as well. And move the elbows toward each other. Looking for a sense of broadening or opening across the chest. All right, 2 more breaths. All right, release the hands. And then we'll step the left foot forward into a short lunge so that the knee is roughly over the ankle. Take the right hand across to rest on your left knee, and then sweep the left hand forward and up and back and down. So rotating through the left shoulder. All right, one more full breath. All right, take both hands to the floor and step forward. So you come into your forward fold. Feet about hip distance apart, have a little bend in your knees, folding over the thighs. Release the weight of your head, shake it yes and no. All right, walk the hands up the fronts of the legs, rising up to stand, and then we'll shrug the shoulders up. Take them back and down, again shrugging up. Back and down, and then once more up, back, and down. And then with your feet about hip distance apart, if they're not already, take a breath in, press your hips back, take your arms up as you land in chair pose. really sending the weight back toward your heels. And then as you exhale, press into your feet, rise up and reach your arms back in space. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, find your chair pose. Exhale to stand. All right, now this last time, inhale into chair pose. Now as you exhale, fold over your legs, take your hands to the floor, and then walk your feet back so that you're in downward facing dog, hips up in the air. Give the head a little shake out. Now take a breath in and rock forward into plank pose. Take the shoulders over the wrists, lengthen from head to feet. And then as you exhale, shift back into downward dog. All right, take a deep breath in, release down to your knees. And exhale, sit back towards your feet briefly into child's pose. Release the weight of the head, softening forward. And now as you rise back up onto hands and knees, this time step your right foot out to the side. Walk the hands in, lifting up. We'll take right hand to rest on the right leg and then side bend to the right. So left arm is up alongside the head as you bend over to the right. All right, with your next breath in, lift up. And breathing out, release that left arm. We'll take the arms behind the back once again. Interlace the fingers, take your opposite thumb on top. So you might have, well, we all have a habitual way that we cross our hands. So take your opposite thumb on top. It should feel a little weird. All right, shoulder blades together. And as we did on the first side, you might have your elbows bent, moving the elbows toward each other. Or if your arms are able to straighten, that's an option as well. But see how it feels across the chest to just begin to move the elbows toward each other. All right, couple cycles of breath. We'll once again move the head, lifting the chin up and dropping it down. And again, lifting up and dropping down. One more lift and drop. All right, bring the head back up, release the hands. Step your right foot forward into that short lunge. So knee is roughly over the ankle. Take the left hand across to rest on the right knee, and then sweep the right hand forward and up, and back, and down. Rotating a few times here through the right shoulder. All right, one more breath. All right, and then take the hands to the floor, step forward. Again, into that forward fold. Folding over your thighs, release the weight of your head. You might grab your elbows, you might hug your arms around your legs, you might let your arms just kind of hang in a way that's comfortable for you. Take another 2 breaths. All right, and then walk your hands up the fronts of your legs, rising up to stand. All right, now we'll turn and step wide on the mat. Let the toes turn slightly out so the heels will be slightly in. All right, start to bend your knees. You're going to squat down and let your knees go in sort of the same direction as your feet. The tendency for some of us will be for the knees to want to dip in, but try to keep the thighs in line with the feet so that you're engaging your hips. All right, take the arms out, elbows bent. Essentially the same thing with the upper body. Press your elbows back so that those muscles between your shoulder blades are engaged and pulling the arms back in space. The effect of which is opening across the chest and the inner parts of your thighs. All right, landing evenly into both feet. Balance the weight out between the ball and the heel of each foot. Relax your toes if they're gripping tightly. And then breathe deeply. Take 3 more breaths. All right, straighten your legs and release the arms. All right, turn the right toes out towards the short edge of the mat. Let your left toes turn slightly in. So you start to feel the difference in the way that your thighs are rotating. This left leg is rolling in a little bit, right leg is rolling out. And then take your arms over your legs. All right, deep breath in as you reach up. And then as you exhale, bend your right knee and take your arms back over the legs. We'll do this a couple times. Inhale, reach up, straighten the right leg. Exhale and bend your right knee, arms over the legs. All right, one more, breathing in. And breathing out. Now pause here with the right knee bent, and then inhale and lean back toward your left leg. Take your right arm up. And then exhale, take your right forearm to your right thigh, your left arm up alongside your head. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale up and back, keeping the right knee bent for the moment. Exhale, shift forward into side angle posture. All right, one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Now pause here in your side angle pose. Take 3 cycles of breath. All right, with your next inhale, lift up. Straighten the right leg. Exhale, release your left arm. All right, same thing on the other side. So switch your feet. Left toes will turn out towards the short edge. Right toes turning slightly in. Again, feel and notice how your thighs feel relative to your hips. Arms out over the legs. Deep breath in, reach up. Breathing out as you bend your left knee, arms back over the legs. Twice more like that. Inhale, reach up. Straighten the front leg or the left leg. Exhale and bend. All right, one more. Breathing in. And breathing out. All right, now keeping that left knee bent. Inhale, lean back towards your right leg. Exhale, shift forward. Left forearm to thigh. Right arm towards your head. And twice more. Inhale up and back. Keep your left knee bent. And exhale. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. And then pausing here in your side angle posture. Take 3 cycles of breath. All right, and then inhale, lift up, straighten the left leg. Exhale, release your right arm down. All right, step near the back of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale as you fold over your legs, bend your knees. Walk your hands out one more time to downward dog. All right, and then breathing in, rock forward again. Find plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. Get long from head to feet. Exhale, downward dog. Deep breath in, release to your knees. And then breathing out, sit back to your feet into child's pose. All right, 3 more breaths. All right, after your third breath, come back up onto hands and knees. Take the knees close together, and then we'll extend the left leg back in space and just lift it up about the same height as your torso. And then we'll take the right arm forward. So that's left leg and right arm. And then take your right arm out to the side. And right hand to low back. And then back out to the side. And forward. And down to the floor. Cross your left leg over the right leg, drop the toes. Curve the spine to the right, peeking back at your left foot. Sensing all the way up the left side of the body. All right, bring the torso back to neutral. The knees back underneath the hips or slightly wider. And then take your left hand out to the side and up as you breathe in. Exhale, tuck the left arm underneath the right arm, reaching over to the right. Twice more, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, underneath. And one more, breathing in. And breathing out. Now go ahead and drop onto your left shoulder. Release the head to the floor. And then with that right hand, gently press into the floor so that you're starting to twist the spine. Make sure that your head and neck are comfortable. And if they're not comfortable with your left shoulder all the way down on the floor, just keep yourself lifted a little bit. You can continue to reach that left hand, but without compromising your neck if your neck is not enjoying shoulder down. All right, 2 more rounds of breath. All right, press down into that right hand, drag your left arm back. Hands back underneath the shoulders, knees back together. This time take your right leg back, lift it up about the same height as the torso, and then left arm forward. So that's, again, right leg, left arm. And take your left arm out to the side. And left hand to low back. And then back out to the side. And forward. And down to the floor. Cross the right leg over the left leg, drop the toes. Curve your spine to the left, peeking back at your right foot. Sensing all the way up the right side of the body. All right, bring your torso back to neutral. Your knees back underneath your hips. And then this time we'll send the right hand out to the side and up, breathing in. And then breathing out as that right arm goes underneath the left arm, reaching over to the left. Twice more, inhale, right arm up. And exhale underneath. And then one more, breathing in. And breathing out. And then as before, go ahead and drop down onto your right shoulder. Head rests on the floor, But really, most of the weight is in your arm and legs rather than the head itself. But again, if your neck is not enjoying this, just stay elevated a little bit here. You can still reach and twist, but without compromising your neck. Now, if your neck and head are resting on the floor, left hand is pressing down, so the left shoulder is moving back in space to create that twist. All right, after you release your next breath, press down into the left hand, drag the right arm back, hands back underneath the shoulders. We'll tuck the toes and lift up to one more downward facing dog. And give the head a little shake out. Yes and no. All right, and then release to your knees. All right, come back into your seat. And we'll conclude our practice today with alternate nostril breathing. So with alternate nostril breathing, you're going to use your right hand and take your peace fingers in toward your palm so that your thumb and your ring finger can block nostrils fairly easily. So take your right thumb to your right nostril and then inhale through the left side. Close it off, open the right, and exhale. Inhale, right side. Close it off, open the left, exhale. Inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Exhale, left. 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 And then just release your hand down. Allow the breath to flow without restriction through whichever nostril it's going to flow through. Allow your eyes to close if they haven't done so already naturally. And again, check in with how you're feeling. And so after we've done just about 30 minutes or so of movement, check in to notice how you feel now. Have there been any subtle shifts within your body? Subtle shifts in awakeness or temperature, or even simply awareness of certain parts of the body. Sometimes until we draw attention to certain parts of our body, we just kind of forget they're there. All right, then join your palms in front of your heart. We bow to the light within ourselves as well as each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. May we know peace. Thank you again for practicing with me today. See you again next time. Bye-bye.